this Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we have a special guest here in the studio. And of course, you were here, we talked about this off the air.
September.
And it was warm.
Yes, it was very warm.
And you didn't bring it back with you.
I did not. I
would
apologize.
you go home and bring it back with
Sure
you?
can.
No, no, I'm just kidding you. But this is John Eckstine.
Correct, yes.
Yes. Got to say it right. And we are fortunate enough to have you here as the band director, the new band director at the University of Rio Grande.
Yes.
And of course, you have a couple of hats that you're wearing there, and we're going to hear all about that and some recruitment and things here in just a moment. And we want to thank you for spending your morning with us.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
We know you're busy. So, all right, well, let's have a message, and we'll be back, and we'll chat about what all you have going on band-wise at Rio.
All right, thank you.
Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
All right, and we are back, and let's talk about the band at Rio. So how are things going, John?
Well, this is really kind of like laying the groundwork, developmental part of the band program this year. And the fact is that now there is a symphonic concert band there, and there's another gentleman, the band director at Oak Hill High School, who's conducting that the spring and the fall and the spring. He was under contract to do that, so he's conducting that. But I'll take that over next year in addition to the marching band and pep band, and somewhere down the line, hopefully maybe a jazz ensemble.
Woohoo!
But with that being said, it's a lot of recruiting right now. It's reaching out to a lot of schools, a lot of students. As a matter of fact, here when I came back from Christmas, to tie up a lot of loose ends with some of the high school band directors. And hey, I was that at one time. I get busy. I understand how it is not getting back to them. I started reaching out to guidance counselors. And I took the stack of cards that I had and I said, hey, these students here have applied to Rio Grande. It's a possibility that I can come to your school and meet with them in addition to any other juniors and seniors. So I've gotten really good response with that. So the calendar is filling up here, going out and reaching out to students and talking to them about coming to Rio Grande. And I get that they have many opportunities throughout the state or out of the state to go. I mean, they can go to Ohio State. I mean, anytime that you see that the Ohio State football team here in the national championship and, the Ohio State band, that's a feature that really jumps out at you. You have Ohio University. You have Marshall down in Huntington, West Virginia. If people want to branch out a little bit, you can go to West Virginia University. And all the other great colleges in the state of Ohio. But we want to develop a legacy here at the University of Rio Grande, where I think the unique thing with us is, and it's unique now because we don't have a music major on campus, I'm going to say right now. The fact
that needs to happen.
Well, then that could possibly happen somewhere down the road. But the big thing is, a lot of times when students look at school, universities and colleges, they'll be like, well, I'm not going to major in music, so I can't play my instrument. Oh, no. You can come here and continue to play your instrument without majoring in music because we have none, and that's what we encourage you to do. And by the way, we have really generous scholarships that we can give you to do that.
There you go.
Yes.
Now we're talking money.
Absolutely.
Money talks, doesn't it?
Well, it does. I had a student one time at Monmouth College in Illinois when I was there, and she looked up at me and she said, money talks to students. I said, I'm going to remember that. So absolutely it does.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That is it's a big thing. And, I just think this is so exciting as Rio is forming a football team as well. And that was kind of, can't have a football team without a band and vice versa. It just seems like they go hand in hand, kind of like, I don't know.
Well, and I think, I've thought that from the very beginning, especially, when they finally build their own football stadium on
Yeah.
campus and field house. That'll be a game changer for the University of Rio Grande.
Sure
Right
will.
now it's a sleepy little village in southeastern Ohio that I think has a lot of charm to it.
Oh, it is adorable.
But it will definitely change the whole complexion of the college and university once that football team is there. And then, like I said, you can look at the big universities and see what a big deal game day is. So just think of what the big deal on campus will be once they do all that. It'll be huge.
Absolutely. It's going to be enormous and so much fun.
Right.
And, just isn't that kind of what we all want to just have some fun, right?
That is absolutely right. And anytime that I'm there and I'm like, oh my, this is so hard pushing like a Trojan horse, I got to stop and say, you know what? The bottom line is music is fun. Like we had some students in last night working a pep band rehearsal because we're going to have like a volunteer pep band this year for about 5 basketball games. And it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the music's fun. The students enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Yeah. So it's just. I sometimes wonder, and I shouldn't say this too loud. Do they really pay me to do this job?
Yeah, don't say that too loud. Your secret's safe with me. No, so let's talk for a minute about. You have a lot of experience in this, and you've kind of lived all over and directed bands and whatever, and we're so fortunate to have you here in Ohio now and in Rio and forming this new entity. So we laugh and joke because they say that the football team's been undefeated since 1950 or something like that.
Right.
Because there hasn't been one since
right.
1950.
That's right.
Was there a band back then, or is this, completely new to Rio?
Yeah, as far as a marching band, there's never been a marching band per se on campus.
So no pressure to you to start from the get-go.
Right. Now, there has been a concert band, and I think at times there has been a pep band, especially when they had the music major on campus. The concert band was kind of along with the Grand Chorale, they were the two ensembles that were basically the hub of that music program. But, as far as I'm looking at, I want to expand that, even if it's a non-music major program for a while, to getting it back to that music major on campus.
Yes.
And not every student wants to go to a big university and major in music.
Agreed.
Sometimes they want to come to a smaller place where they feel, where they can be actually, king of the fine arts building, where they're going to actually stand out rather than getting lost in numbers. So, that's one of the advantages of eventually seeing that come back. And, I think we have to make a really good recruit and presence as the non-music major first before that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's a really smart way to kind of
absolutely
go with it. So I'm sitting here thinking, if you are a music major, so say Rio comes back with a music major, and no pressure, I'm sure you're going to have to help out with that situation too. But what are the opportunities for somebody that majors in music?
Well, I guess
Obviously teaching.
Yeah,
but
teaching is probably the primary one. If somebody is talented enough where they can be a performer, obviously, service bands are one thing that they always can go into after they have their degree. There's always plenty of performing opportunities in this area.
Sure.
Whether it's a paid opportunity. I believe there's a really wonderful orchestra that I believe is out of Gallipolis, if I'm correct.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, community orchestra. And I forget the name of it. I don't know if it's Ohio Valley Orchestra or something like that. But yeah, I understand it's really quite a phenomenal orchestra. Now, with that being said, they probably get professionals who come in from the Cincinnati and Columbus area and potentially even Cleveland area to perform with them.
Okay.
But I understand that's quite good. But like another endeavor that I'm doing right now, I'm conducting a community band in Portsmouth, Ohio, Portsmouth Wind Symphony.
Fun.
And that is fun. And that's an organization where, we have a middle school trombone player up to people in their 70s playing in that band. And, when I started with that group in September, when we played an October concert, we had about 35 people. When we gave our Christmas concert at Shawn East State on December 14th, we were up to 52 members.
Look
We're
at that.
always looking at growing that.
That's awesome.
One of the things that I've used that band for is to recruit students who are closer to that area, recruit them into the community band so they get used to working with me. They get used to playing with a higher level of musician, and say, now you can see how I work. Now we really want you to come to Rio Grande. So that's where I'm trying to, and I think we're going to
cross over.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to try to develop continuing partnership with both the university and the community band, the Wind Symphony, here in the near and foreseeable future.
Well, very good. So let's talk for a minute, and I think that we did discuss that when you were here before, but talk about kind of what the different bands are that are being formed at Rio or that already exist at Rio, and like what they would be, what kind of their role is at the university.
Well, what we have right now is we have an existing symphonic concert band that meets one time a week, and that's a combination of some college students, there's not many, community members and high school students. So that's what we have there now.
So that already exists.
That already exists,
and
yes.
you're directing that.
I'm not directing that this year.
No, that's right. You said that you were. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be taking that over next fall.
Okay.
But then there's also a grand chorale on the vocal end.
Yes.
So that's the two major ensembles that are there right now. So what I'm looking at is I'm trying to get a student who wants to come into Rio Grande who says, hey, I love the high school experience where I did concert band, marching band, and pep band. I want to be able to do that again. And so I want to try to set that experience up for them right now.
Sure.
Where they can have the experience of being in marching band in the fall, segue that into the symphonic concert band, and both being kind of bridged with the pep band together. And that's where I'm hoping to get, I'm trying to get up to about 30 brand new people on campus with that, and then try to supplement that with community people, and that's marching band, pep band, and concert band. So if somebody wants to come in and march and they're a community person, by all means.
Okay, so you don't have to be a student.
Correct.
Oh.
Local high school students who are in more so non-competitive band programs, because being a band director who was in a competitive band program, you're almost out every weekend with rehearsals and competitions and travel.
Sure.
So those who are in the non-competitive programs, this would work out much better with them with their Friday night football game, and then they can come in with us on Saturdays and perform and march on Saturday.
What a good idea. And
Yep.
double the fun, right?
Well, that's it. And so I'm hoping by using that model, that we won't sit at 30 new members next year, that we can potentially grow that 40, maybe 45 members in the first Rio Grande band.
In your ideal, situation, would that be about how many you would have in the band? Would be about 45, or are you like, no, I want 200 in the band?
Absolutely, I will never turn anybody away from the band. But just knowing the size of the band and the size of the kids on campus and things like that, percentage-wise, that's what you're looking at.
Okay.
And I've already been told, however, if you get those numbers of 50 or 60, and you need additional scholarships, monies, or things like that, you come back to us.
Because money talks.
Yes. So, we were given, I think, a very generous amount to be able to give the students for scholarships, and to know that if we get, above that, then that's something that I think is really important to
Love that.
be able to push. Yeah.
Love that. So, when are you? So. Let's see. The football season will start this year, right?
Mm-hmm. In August.
They're hoping to start it this year. So you need to get going on
Absolutely,
this.
yes.
So you need people.
I need people. That's right.
All right. So how do we do this?
Well, and part of that is, and normally on Wednesdays we have our athletic department meetings, and I'm under the auspice of the athletic department.
Makes sense.
I'd like to sit down with the coaches and say, hey, I know this is an NAIA school rather than an NCAA school, but to get a semi-commitment from these students, do these students sign a letter of intent to come here? And a lot of times those letter of intents really aren't binding because they decide they want to go somewhere else, they can. It's like a non-financial way. Some colleges have where when the students deposit, now we can look at them as potentially coming here, even though they could pull the deposit and go somewhere else.
Okay.
So I would like to get something where I can bring to a student, once they've applied and they've been accepted, once they've done their FAFSA and they understand how much financial aid they're going to get.
Sure.
Now it's like, let's do a letter of intent with you, and this is what we can give you scholarship money if you can come here.
Oh,
so
wow.
if they have no need, we don't have need to give out scholarship money. But if there's a need there, we can give them up to a certain amount. And I can, what I'm looking at right now is just by coming on campus and being in the marching band, coming to rehearsals, being at the performances, we can give you, on top of any financial aid that you'll get, $2,500.
Wow.
Then if you do that and you also do that bridge program, the pep band, we'll give you another $500. So now you're at $3,000. And if you come in and also do the symphonic concert band, we'll give you an additional $1,000. So now we can give you $4,000 for doing three ensembles on top of any financial aid you get.
How and to do something that you enjoy so much and get paid for it, like that is wild to me.
Absolutely.
How cool.
Yes.
And how exciting for, listen, we can't all be in the Ohio State Band.
Correct. Well, if you're a woodwind player or a color guard, there's not an opportunity if it's all brass.
It's not going to happen.
Right, all brass and percussion.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's right. And right, not everybody can be in that band. Not everybody can be in the Ohio University Band, which is quite good.
Yes.
Not everybody wants to go and be in that Thundering Herd Marshall University Band over in Huntington, which is huge. Sometimes people want to be in something a little bit more smaller and intimate, and I think this is something that we can grow, I think eventually from 75 to 100 members. And I think that's appropriate for our campus. So that gives you the opportunity to be able to come in there, major, stay close to home, and you can continue to play your instrument.
It's win-win for everybody.
And if anybody knows me personally, they'll say that guy's a type A personality. Those ensembles will be excellent. So it's not just the experience. I'm going to make sure that they get the experience of performing and playing the greatest and the best literature that they can.
How do you... I've met you, and you've been here a time or two, and you seem so passionate and so kind. So how do you draw that line between being, a stickler for perfection and being kind to people? And it just seems like that would be a gift.
Well, and I'll tell you, the community...
It would be difficult.
The community band really helps to hone those skills because, you've got people coming in here and they're giving up their Monday night and 8 Mondays before a concert, and it's like, this better be worth my while. So basically it comes down to, what teaching pedagogy skills do you use to reach to them? Of course, they'll always tell you, he always talks about balance and blend and playing in tune and this and that and length of notes and all these things. So you talk about those things like religiously, tirelessly, and sometimes I think they think, are we going to get all this music done for the concert? But we do, because I've emphasized those fundamentals so much that by the time concert comes, people's like, wow, I've been here 15 years and I haven't heard a concert like that. So, and part of it is, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can always be educated. You can always learn something. So that's one of the things that I heard from them. Wow, we learned so much. Well, yeah, and music, and the big thing is, music is not something that's difficult. If you break it down to being being
speak
something
for yourself,
simple,
buddy.
Well, and that's one of the things I've never talked about the Italian terms that are on the piece of music. If I want somebody to go faster, I tell them to go faster. If I want you to play softer, I'll tell you to play softer. Now, they understand what those meanings are.
Sure.
But hey, we're speaking English here. We're going back and forth. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I want and how to go about in doing it. So it comes down to
not being pretentious about it. That's a
right.
good start.
Right. Well, that's it. And it also comes down to teaching them what they need to know, but how to do it. That's the key thing. The what's and the hows. Here's what to do, and here's how to do it. And a lot of times we find out that teachers and band directors will tell you what to do. They don't tell you how to do it.
Maybe
and that's
they
the key
don't know.
thing. Yeah. It's like a lot of times you'll hear them say, listen. Well, what am I supposed to listen to? that fan is blowing there? Am I supposed to listen to the person breathing next to me? Sure. No, you got to tell them what to listen to and how to listen for it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the things that I do, and I think that's what resonates with the students and the performers, and where they say, yeah, this makes sense to me, and this is something that I want to continue to do.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, John, if you're sitting here today and you are recruiting for, this season's new class or band, why should someone choose Rio over somewhere else?
That's a good question, and I got plenty of answers for that. Number one, first of all, we're the only place in the nation that has a public community college and a private university. So
really
if you want to come there,
interesting.
so if you want to come there for 2 years while you decide what a lot of times students like, well, I want to go to campus, but I really don't know what I want to do. If you want to come there for 2 years to find yourself and figure out what you want to do.
Which is smart, by the way.
Right, which is very smart.
Okay. You don't have to know what you want to do when you're 17 years old for the rest of your life.
That's exactly right.
I think that's a crime.
I think it is too.
That they,
Yeah, we should
that's
have
a whole other show.
Right, yeah, we shouldn't have to pigeonhole ourselves into something.
Agreed.
But that gives you the opportunity to be able to figure that out. The other thing is, if you're a local student, the campus is right here. It's local. One of the things that I think I have found since I've been there is the friendliness and just the engaging personalities of the people in the area.
Yes.
So I think that's huge. The other thing is, and of course I alluded to this, you don't need to be a music major to continue to play your instrument. So you have that opportunity to be able to come there to Rio and do that.
Yep.
As far as affordability, Rio, it may not be the most affordable college or university in the state of Ohio, but it's one of the more affordable universities to go to.
Absolutely.
So that's something that you definitely want to consider. In talking to the coaches and things like that, their financial aid packages, I think, are very generous.
Okay.
And the fact is, like, for example, when I was in Monmouth, Illinois, they would give them a financial aid, which was twice the amount at Monmouth College as what it is here to go to the University of Rio Grande. So they would give out a financial aid package, and we can give them $500, $1,000, $1,500, or $2,000 for being a quote-unquote music major, but that had to come out of their financial aid. So they would just rebrand that.
So you're doing this after the fact.
So so here, after they get their financial aid, we can now stack monies on top of that. So that's really huge. And there's some places in the country that do that, but there's not many places that do that. And some of your bigger institutions, they don't have to necessarily give out scholarships because they know we have a certain amount of students who are willing to come here. Let's say Ohio State. Come here to be in the band.
It works the other way. Like,
right.
It's such a privilege to be a part of the band.
And then there's a waiting list, and then there's some that just don't get in. Well, here, you're going to get in automatically, and we're going to build our own legacy here.
Love that.
With that. So I think that's something important. The existing sports on campus, I follow them very closely. They're all highly successful. And I know there's a huge international pool of students who come in to play. So hopefully maybe eventually we can tap into that international part and bring in people to come in and perform with the band.
How cool would that be? And not only that, but performing at different sporting events as well, not just football.
Sure. Well, and that's an important thing too. As we build that legacy, of the band program. I judge marching bands in the fall of the year. Mm-hmm. So, I was in the Pittsburgh area at Penn Trafford High School with Tournament of Bands. And, the guest band who came in was Slippery Rock University. Nice sized band, beautiful uniforms, great sound. So there's those opportunities to go out and perform at high school band competitions, some of the local parades and things.
Yes.
So that could be a possibility next year with the Jackson Apple Parade.
I was thinking about that as you were talking. I was sitting here thinking, because my favorite part of the parades are the bands.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking, oh my gosh, we almost have now a built-in new performance that can be added to our local festivals.
Absolutely. And then that'll just get the reputation of the program out. And then, you go down the road, let's say we get our size up to about 100, there's always opportunities. And, I marched there as a high school band director, and I know the people who organize that. Let's say the Philadelphia Thanksgiving Day Parade, travel some. Or in Allentown, Pennsylvania, every late September, early October, they have a college band festival exhibition where they bring in a lot of marching bands from the East Coast. Well, we're close enough to that where it would be great to put that Rio Grande band there. And then that also now starts to develop a regional recruiting reputation for us, because now we're out there and people can see us and, hey, where are you guys located? Maybe I want to be a part of that.
Right. Well, let's think big. Let's go Macy's.
Absolutely. Well, there you go.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
If we can get her up to 150, which is kind of like their bottom line, we could definitely do that.
I'm going to give you 5 years to make that goal.
5 years. Okay, that's fair enough.
We'll talk about that in 5 years.
All right, that's fair enough.
So one thing that was popping into my head while you were talking is, does a student have to live on campus to get those monies to be in the band?
No.
Okay.
All they have to do is just show financial need. So let's say, for example, they get their financial aid package and it pays for everything. Well, we're not going to actually hand them a check to say, now you're going to be in band. But if there's a financial need there, let's say, for example, they're down to where they have $3,000. Well, we'll package that to where we can stack that on top of there so their financial needs are met for the college.
Great.
But yeah, that's so it doesn't matter if they're on campus or off campus.
Okay, perfect.
That is still available to them.
Because that is, let's be honest, one of the great things for kids around our area is they can commute. They can live at home. They can work. They can do other things. And I mean, I am a proponent of kids living on campus, because I think college is about 50% finding yourself and learning how to live on your own, and 50% in education.
Agreed.
I've always said that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like you need to get out of the nest and
I agree,
find yourself a little bit. But if it does not work out for you or your family or whatever, I think that's wonderful that you can still participate.
And that's one of the things with the local students when I talk to them. It's like, now, are you looking at being on campus? Are you looking at commuting? And of course, I get a lot of them who want to commute. And that might be that bridge that's freshman year to the sophomore year.
For sure.
For they stay on they commute the first year, and then they find out, hey, I really want to get this college experience. Now I'm going to come on campus.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Very fun. Okay, so if someone's listening today and they want to join you, they want to join any of the bands, they want to join maybe Rio, they want to, but also talk to you about being part of the marching band, which will be coming up here soon. How do they do that? And when will you start practicing and things like that?
Well, rehearsals and things will be, obviously summer band rehearsals in the summer.
Okay.
I think we can probably do it a week, maybe a week and a half out before the first football game.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're confident.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, and of course, part of that will be, a brand new program at the same time. But one of the things, that I have seen here at Rio is, let's say when I was out in Illinois, there was a lot of things that I had to compete with on campus where kids had a hard time getting to rehearsal. I don't see those type of those roadblocks there, where I think once you have them there, they will be there with you.
Sure.
So yeah, that could be, let's say late July, early August.
Okay.
And then let me see. That was the first part of your question. The second part was, forget.
What did I ask you? Yeah, rehearsals, and I think that. Well, yeah, we talked about it.
The biggest thing is starting to develop a roster of students who you potentially can look at.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things.
Oh, how do they get hold of you? That's what I asked
you said. Yes. Okay. So there are a number of ways you can do that. If you go to the Rio Grande website, you go down through the faculty, you'll find me on there and my contact information, either the email address or the phone number. However, if you dig a little bit deeper, if you go into the Rio Grande site, and I believe you go to campus engagement, you click on that, and then I think it'll say athletics, beautiful southeastern Ohio, and then it comes down to, I believe, extracurricular activities. You click on that. There will be a pop-up page for the band and the choir.
Okay.
And then an additional pop-up page that will come for the band window platform that we're using. I'll give you a little bit of an introduction. If it's something that you want to definitely look at doing, please, by all means, go into there, click into that, and you can put your contact information. And if you give me 1 second here, I can make that even a little bit easier.
Oh.
So if you take your phone and if you put in the phone number, let me see here, 740-400-0579, and you type the word band, text that to that phone number, that will send you a link. That link you click onto, you can come in there, put all
So
of your
easy.
contact information in there,
Look at
over
you.
the scholarship information and all that.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, very good. Well, John, thank you.
Thank you.
It's
I appreciate
always so
it.
fun to have you here and to talk band stuff.
Yep, it
and,
is.
We greatly appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come and hang out with us. If you're interested in the Rio band, get hold of this fella.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you want to be at the grand level of greatness, I can guarantee you in 5 years we're going to put something really great together. Well, it'll be sooner than that.
In 5 years,
but
you're
we're
going to be in the Macy's parade.
There you go. But we're going to develop that as we go, and I think it's exciting to be at that level.
I think so, too.
starting from the beginning. So
Love it. Well, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
We appreciate you stopping by again, and what a great guy. And please get hold of him if you're interested in the band. So, all right. Well, we have our friends from Zip Printing waiting in the wings. So let's have another message, and we'll be back right after that.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Buy, bread and milk. It's fine. The great news is, as you can see, the next couple of days, some thawing in our future, even some rain perhaps on Saturday. So we will take that, get rid of all of this icky white stuff that we still have out and about, and it will be a good thing. So, all right. Well, our good friends from Zip Printing are here. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Hidden by the microphone.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have hired chairs. It's not your fault. It's fine.
Dang it.
It's okay.
So we have our good friend Shawn here and Mindy, and you all have a couple of different roles at Zip that we're going to talk about. So, Shawn, what is your official title now?
I'm the manager of Zip Printing.
Just the manager.
Yeah, I think.
Do you have a shirt that just says the manager?
No, but now we will now. Yeah.
And manager, like man, like.
Yeah,
because you're a man.
We're gonna have that, right? Yeah.
I just came up with that.
Very manly. I like it.
Yes.
Can I copyright that, or do you?
Go for it.
Cool.
I'll share the royalties with you.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll split that.
50-50.
You brought me on here. This is your fault.
No. So Shawn and I, unfortunately, when we get together, our brains go a little crazy, and we come up with things that are completely not appropriate to put on shirts, but are very funny.
Yes.
So yeah, but we won't get ourselves in any trouble here.
No. We don't want any letters or complaints or emails or anything like that.
So yes, absolutely. So, and Mindy, you have kind of come on here, kind of recently. How long have you been here now?
8 months.
8 months? Has it been that long?
Yeah,
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, yes.
And you are the guru of all of the beautiful shirts and things that leave zip, and including if you have any Sixth Sense merchandise. Mindy had her hand in it probably. Yes. And so thank you for that. And you all do a wonderful job at that. And we are working on right now, Shawn knows this, some baby onesies and also some dog shirts.
Yeah.
Mindy doesn't know about that yet.
No.
We'll break it to her after the
Yeah,
thing.
we'll give her all the details and stuff.
But
surprise.
Surprise!
I'm down for anything.
So let's talk about, in general, Shawn, what are some of the things that people maybe wouldn't know that Zip does? And then we'll talk to Mindy about her role in the shirts and some of the screen printing stuff that she does.
We actually had a guy come in not too long ago and ask me if we like a catalog of what we do, and I said no, because it's a shorter list of what we don't do.
Correct.
Because we do so many different things, from banners to like regular, like vinyl, decals, metal signs, acrylic signs, outdoor signage for businesses and locations. It's just, or if you just want birthday cards, pretty much just everything across.
Correct. Or napkins for like a wedding, or programs for your wedding, or any of this. It just goes on and on. So something that you guys did, you might not even know this, because I don't know if you were here when we actually did this, but the really cool sign that's in front of that's off the wall of our brewery on the outside, the round sign that has the wizard on it and our logo and stuff, you guys did that.
Oh,
Zip did that.
It was before I got here.
It was. Yeah. So if you're wondering, like, things like that you're like, where would somebody get something like that? Zip. So if you have it in your mind and you need it done, call Shawn here and he'll make it happen.
We've had some weird requests, definitely, but I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do that. I haven't done it yet, but I want to try.
I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
And if anything from like industrial signage, like, if you're walking through the tap room at Sixth Sense and you see the employee only signs and, things like that, you guys did all that. So, it's just something where you're like, where do I get something like that? Zip.
And if you don't know, you can always ask.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So, and then Mindy, you do a lot of the screen printing things, and you brought some examples in here. Do you want to show everybody? And you don't just, I guess, do shirts. There's all.
Oh yeah.
Again, the sky's the limit of things that could be screen printed.
Yeah, we do canvas. Let me show you one of them.
Like I was gonna say, like I was thinking
Canvas
about bags, like backpacks.
Yeah. If I can print on it, I can do it. And if I've never done it, I'll try it. So. And
that's she's not afraid to say, you know what, I don't know, but let's try a sample and see.
And if I can't do it, I'm honest. So.
She's a real scientist with this stuff. When I usually call her Heisenberg. I don't know how many Breaking Bad fans you have out there.
If you watch Breaking Bad, you know what that means.
Yeah, whenever she says I'm trying something, I'm like, all right, let her cook.
That's right. Not meth, but screen printing.
Right. Not meth, officially.
But no, and you're even mixing your own colors and stuff now of ink. Yeah. So if there's any color in the world that you want, you have a way to mix it.
Yeah, I go by the Pantone colors.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. She's doing so much stuff that we haven't done before, like color blends and experimentation and stuff. So it's really cool to watch.
Okay, so let's show some of these examples of shirts that you've done. And I think that butterfly one's a really cool example of something that you were...
Maybe I should do it this way.
So she was experimenting, and you texted me that. You were like, look, what do you think? And I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. Look at that. And that's all done just through blending of ink.
Yes. These two were done with one screen, actually. Well, two screens. The black was one screen, but all the color in the middle was one screen.
Do you want to tell your secret, or do you? Would we have to kill them?
I'm gonna hold that up.
No, it's basically I put the
because you're having to blend the ink as it goes through.
Yeah, the squeegee does that as it goes down the screen. Yeah. All I do is put one color here, one color here, and one color here, and when the squeegee comes down through, it actually blends all of it together.
Isn't that? But look how gorgeous that is.
Yeah.
So pretty. So if you have, and let's talk about this for a minute. every single shirt that you do like that is one of a kind.
Yes.
There's
with the blending, it is
never going
Yeah.
to be a shirt that
Yeah.
looks exactly the same.
There's a darker one.
Very cool.
Oh, sorry.
Don't do that.
Here, let's do this.
Now you're really going to get angry letters.
I'm just
If
kidding.
you want hate mail, you're going to get it if you put my face that much on camera.
No, it's absolutely gorgeous. So very, very cool. And that was screen printed.
Yes, it was. All of these are screen printed. Now, this is the newest one I've done. I actually tried a specialty ink with the glitter and the shimmer to it.
I'm so okay with covering my face. This is fine. This
You
is
are
ideal.
such a good model,
This
Shawn.
is ideal, right? Just like a J.C. Penney's catalog.
So let me
It's
see.
deep
Can I
cut.
see that up close? I haven't seen this one yet. This
That's
one.
brand
I
new.
just did it yesterday.
So here's the cool thing, and you can't see it, but the purple has a shimmer in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have different inks that have shimmer in them. And
Yes.
actually, the black does, no,
Nope.
just the purple.
Just the purple. Yeah.
Super cool. And it shimmers. I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably not, but it's very, very nice.
What most
Very
people
pretty.
do not know is in screen printing, when you do screen printing, each color is a different screen, and you have to line them up 100% in order for them to match.
We
in
should
order for them
do
to print.
like a video of that sometime to show
Yeah.
people like I mean we're talking about it's not easy
No.
at
no.
all.
It's an
It's
entire
scientific,
process.
it's artistic, and yeah, everything has to line up perfectly or it's going to look crazy.
Yeah.
I have to put together something of how we make the donuts.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that would be a long video.
It would be.
There's a lot to it. A
Yes.
lot for one specific shirt.
Yep.
But there are a couple that I absolutely love. I did one for Christmas. You'll have to hold this one up. I did one for Christmas, and it's what, 5 colors? Yeah,
Yep,
it's
look
5
at
colors.
Jimmy's now being our model. Look at how cute.
I don't know if you can zoom in enough, but there are pits inside of the little red balls.
Well, the green
That-
screen's still
Our
happening.
green
It's
screen's
like
still
a-
happening.
Oh, shoot, my bad. There we go. Let's go.
There we go.
Yeah, it's like pink inside the little red balls. That was
Not easy.
not easy at all.
No.
But I was able to get it all lined up and make a
Very
Christmas shirt.
cool. Love that one.
And
I'm
this
partial to this one
one,
for some reason.
yes, he is very partial to this one. This is Shawn's artwork that he done himself. And I put it on screens and
Oh,
actually put
cool.
it on a shirt.
Because I don't know if people don't know Shawn Langley, you are just an amazing artist. Oh, look, it's on his arm too.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me
Show
see
that, Dylan.
Let's
What?
see it.
It's the same guy on
Yeah.
your arm.
It's one of the few pieces that I don't hate after like 5 minutes after I get it done.
I love that. That is awesome.
But yeah, we can do up to about 5 colors now, 5, 6 colors.
Okay.
Depending, I mean, with a colored shirt, a darker shirt, you have to have an underbase.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I have 5 colors that I can do.
Okay.
But on like a light color, I can do up to 6 colors.
Okay. And now you're going to pay for it.
Oh yes, yes.
You are going to pay. The more colors, the more money.
Yes.
Let's just be honest about that. But that's okay because so many people have different logos, stuff like that, that they want to, that they need on a shirt. And if that's the case and it's got a lot of colors, you can perfect that. So that's
Exactly.
great.
And we got designers that can help you perfect what you want anyways. So
Absolutely. You've got it. So how do people get hold of you at Zip if they're interested in t-shirts or screen printing or all of the other million things that Zip does?
3 different ways, really. You can email us at zipprinting@yourtotalmedia.com. You can call us and get a hold of me at 740-286-3023, or just stop in.
There you go. That's also easy. And I'll tell you why stopping in is kind of cool because you can walk around and look at all the stuff and see some of the examples of
Yeah.
what all you can do. So I think that's kind of neat. But yeah. And the email, you guys are very responsive on email too.
Yeah.
So very cool. Well, is there anything else you want to tell our viewers before Jeremiah comes on over?
no,
That I
I
can
think that's
think of.
pretty much it.
You survived. You're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Mindy looked like the look of horror when she walked in.
I'm not used to doing anything like this. So,
Well, you
yeah.
do great.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for always taking care of us. And like I said, if you have any Sixth Sense merchandise, Mindy's probably had her hand in it. So
Those are quite fun to make, actually. I really
we
like
have a
that.
good time, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I'll be like, so what do you think about that? She's like,
Or, never
Or
seen those
that's-
colors together.
that's
Let's
cool.
try it.
Why
Yeah.
not? Let's do that. Yeah. So, and if I come up with something, she'll be like, no, that looks like crap. Let's do something else. I'll be like, okay, I trust you.
Hey, I'm honest.
That is true. That is true. So, all right. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping in. Jeremiah is here in the wings waiting to do some news. So we'll hear from another one of our friends, and we'll be back right after that. All right, and we are back with our good friend Jeremiah, and I feel like we're like really glitchy today. Yeah, I don't know. You got to do that too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay. Now we're
very
freaking
good.
everybody out.
Yeah.
So what's going on in the news? There's a lot.
Yeah, usually Pete Wilson's in, do the news morning update, but he asked me to come on because
He's just doing that little murder trial
Yeah,
thing.
he's heading up to the courthouse this morning. They're supposed to be doing like closing arguments
Already?
already. It was a long day, I guess, yesterday, hearing from different folks, and then if once they get through closing arguments, then hopefully later this afternoon we'll have some kind of verdict in that case. So
Okay.
hopefully Pete will be able to give you that verdict and the update
Okay.
tomorrow.
We'll see.
So just wanted to touch on that. I wanted to come in. I've covered between Monday and Tuesday, I covered 4 meetings in 2 days. First of the year type stuff.
Yep.
I wanted to touch on that. Always have a lot of that at the beginning of the year. On Monday, I covered the Oak Hill Area Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And, these first year meetings, they always do election of officers
Okay.
at a lot of these different meetings. And they do that at the chamber. And so that meeting was held on Monday, January 13th, there at the Liberty Theater Community Center. And Curtis Strickland was picked again to serve as president.
Okay.
Bruce Barhurst was picked to serve as vice president. And Judy Hamilton will serve as secretary again.
I know
So,
them.
yeah, all 3 of them
Very
were
cool.
reelected to the same positions they held in 2024. And a new officer, Zach McCain, and I think we have a picture if you want to throw that chamber picture up there. So here they are. Yeah, so from the left there, that's Curtis, Bruce, Judy, and then that's Zach McCain. He is the new treasurer for the
Okay.
chamber. So in the latter part of 2024, that treasurer position had become vacant after Caleb Bradford had resigned. He had moved away from the area. So the last few months of 2024, they didn't have a treasurer there, so they kind of was waiting for somebody to fill that, and I guess Mr. McCain decided to fill that. And he does have, I guess, a background in handling finances, so that'll
Okay.
be good for the chamber there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Oak Hill Chamber meets at noon at the Liberty Theater Community Center, and the dates will be February 13th, March 10th, April 14th, May 12th, June 9th, July 14th, September 8th, October 13th, and November 10th. And all those meetings, they usually have like a catered, it's like usually like a pizza from Callie's, or they do like subs from Subway, something
Okay.
local. And
Sounds good.
you just got to pay $5 and you can eat lunch there and then, listen into the meeting. And you're probably wondering on like some of the dates or months where I didn't mention a date.
Mm-hmm.
On those months, they have a chamber event. So I did mention, they have a meeting in June, but also in June they have a chamber yard sale and Amish business showcase.
And that's always huge.
Yeah, they always have that in Etna Park. That'll be on June 7th this year. And then the Oak Hill Chamber Picnic will be on August 11th. The Oak Hill Chamber Pumpkin Walk, which is always a fun one they have there in Central Memorial Park.
Yep.
They picked 2 dates for that. It'll either be October 11th or October 18th. It depends on the Ohio State Buckeye game. So whatever
Okay,
day they are not playing, that is when they will be on, or when that event will be held. And then the Oak Hill Chamber has a Christmas party. They're at the Liberty Theater on December 8th, and that always closes out their year.
Okay.
So one of the big things to look forward this year from the chamber, it should get finished. They're hoping in the spring, the world's largest acorn.
That was going to be my question. Give me the update.
Yeah, so there wasn't much of an update. It's still being constructed.
Okay.
But I think they're
this
shooting
thing
for a
is-
spring reveal. But all last
very
year we
extensive
waited
to
on
do.
it. It is.
Like, I
It's-
don't think people
you got to
understand
remember, it's like
how
you're
complicated
making this thing out
is.
of steel or metal or
Yes.
whatever, and it's like weighs 1 ton, and
And it has to be made in pieces.
yeah, it's like
and
a top piece and a
it's-
bottom piece,
yeah,
and
so-
it'll have to be mounted to this like podium. And I know before the end of the year they were talking about getting the footers and stuff dug for that out there. I haven't been back by the park to see if that's happened yet, but it's been cold and I'm sure the ground's hard, so I don't know if that's happened. But hopefully we'll have an update, and I will be there to cover that. I will be live or whatever whenever they had the big
it's gonna be
unveil
cool.
for that. So I know they want to make a big deal out of it.
They should.
But it was commissioned during the I can't even say it. It's been so long.
Sesquicentennial.
The Sesquicentennial. I can't even say it now. Goodness. The 150th.
You're out of practice.
I'm out of practice. The 150th anniversary was this past year for the Village of Oak Hill.
That's all right. I still can't say genealogical.
Genealogical.
It's way too hard to say.
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial.
150th
Genealogical.
anniversary. So anyway, but that was commissioned last year, and they had hoped to get it done, but there was just some delays, and it just takes a lot of work.
Yep.
But anyhow, that's a little recap on the Oak Hill Chamber. We'll have a complete story in a future edition of the Telegram. I wanted to mention this event that's coming up at Bookish, which is a bookstore here in town featuring new and pre-loved books. They will be hosting a local author. It's
Fun.
Tara Saylor on Wednesday, January 15th. That's today at 5 from 5 to 7. The store is located at 211 Broadway Street in downtown Jackson. The public can stop by anytime to visit and meet the author. Saylor is an Oak Hill native.
Okay.
And has published 2 different children's books. There's the Little Teeny Too Tiny, and her newest, the Alphabet Trail. She will be hosting a creative workshop in conjunction with Bookish, and included is a copy of the Alphabet Trail, a craft to go along with the story, an alphabet cookie, and a drink. And the workshop is geared towards little readers ages 3 to 10, and the cost of the workshop is $10. So if you're looking for something for the kids to do, head uptown. Here in town for that. So I wanted to mention that. We're going to save this for Pete. I'm going to touch on. So I've covered 3 school board meetings in 2 days.
Oh, gosh.
And I want to touch on real quick. Wellston School Board met on Monday. Oak Hill School Board met yesterday afternoon, and then Jackson School Board met yesterday evening.
Okay.
And I was there for all of those. And I didn't bring my notes. Did I not bring my notes for Wellston? I did not bring my notes for Wellston, but I'll just have to do it off the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, you were there. You know.
Put Terry Gill up there. So Terry Gill was named president
Okay.
for the Wellston City School Board, and Roger Rader was named vice president. Both of these gentlemen served in 2024 in those same positions, so they were renominated and more than happy to serve in those positions again. The Wellston City School Board meets the second Monday of each month at 7 o'clock, and they set that again as their meeting date and time for 2025. And there's also a slew of committees that these folks serve on, and I left my stack of papers for Wellston, so I can't go over what committees each of the people are serving on, but you can look for that in a future edition of the Telegram. And down in Oak Hill, Paula Stewart was named president for the Oak Hill Union Local Board of Education, and Mike French was named the vice president for Oak Hill. And let me see here. I can find my notes here because they had. Well, I don't have that on here. That must have been on the other paper that I left at my desk. But both of them will serve for 2025 in those roles.
Okay.
Both were nominated for those positions in 2024, so they must be doing something
Must
right.
be doing all right then.
By their peers there. Wanted to mention that their meeting date and time will be the third Wednesday of the month at 5:30 p.m. And those are held at the Oak Hill High School Middle Library is where they hold those meetings. Up in Wellston, it's held at the administrative office there on along Broadway Street.
Cool.
And in Jackson, you had Brian Moore chosen to be the president of the board again. He was in that same role last year. And then Kim Harless as vice president for Jackson City School Board. So all the folks that served as president and vice president in 2024 got renominated, and I guess they took those seats again for this year. So they must be doing something right by their peers. Jackson School Board, they meet. It is the second Tuesday of each month at 6 o'clock, and that's in room 110 at Jackson High School. They did note 2 exceptions this year with that. They said that I think it's a Monday, March 17th. So in March, they'll meet on the 17th instead of their normal date.
Okay.
And then in June, they'll meet June 24th instead of that second Tuesday.
Okay.
So it's later in the month in June. And
March 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day. Wonder if they'll drink green beer during the event.
I'm gonna guess
during the meeting.
I'm gonna guess probably not.
I'd say they'll probably want to drink some after the meeting.
Maybe.
Sometimes.
Maybe. I don't. Their meetings usually aren't too bad unless there's something going on. Most of the school
I'm
boards.
just kidding, guys.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. So that's a real quick rundown of all the school boards. I've got a lot of content I'll be writing from each of those. There's always, those president, vice president stuff that goes on. In Jackson, they do student shout-outs, so they had a number of those that I'll be recapping in the paper. They also, at all 3 school board meetings, the superintendents of each, January is always School Board Recognition Month.
Okay.
So each of them at the board, superintendent presented certificates to all those folks. So that's always nice. We'll have a story. I'm going to combine it and make it one story with comments from each of the superintendents with the pictures that we have from that as well.
Very cool.
But I will say one of the things from Jackson real quick, over the winter break after they came back, they have new
finally.
Yeah, finally, after they come back, so had the snow days, they, Phil Howard mentioned this, and I noticed it when I was out at the schools recently. They have implemented another layer of security to the buildings.
Okay.
So now when you go to the school buildings, used to be you could go through the double doors there, into the vestibule and
into like the cafetorium thing.
There was like
Is that what you mean?
it was like a set of doors, and then like you got an area and then another set of doors.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, vestibule?
A vestibule.
Okay, so now you're on the outside of the building, and they have installed a camera security system. You ring, it's like almost like a doorbell.
Okay.
You'll hear it make sounds, and then somebody from the office, one of the secretaries, will say, "Yeah, can I help you?" And they can see you inside the office on a big screen, like we see ourselves here.
Sure.
And you can say, "Well, I'm here to pick up, your student or whatever," and they'll say, "Okay," and they'll buzz you in. And now, but I guess you don't. They like when I was there recently, you didn't have to go. And Phil explained this. They may or may not let you into the office. They make you wait in the vestibule. So they have chairs out there.
Oh,
and
so you don't even get in. Perhaps might not even get into the building.
So it's all about safety.
That makes sense.
And protecting the kids. And I will say, the secretary did come out and, would sign.
It's
you can
sad
sign
that
your
we
kid
have
out,
to
so.
do this, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that we are.
It's just like another layer of protection, I guess.
Makes
But
sense.
those doors are locked on the outside, and you have to buzz and be let in.
Okay.
So that was something they, I guess, installed over winter break because it wasn't there before, or I didn't notice it before when I was out there before.
Sure. Makes sense.
Anyhow, that's a rundown of meeting stuff, and we'll have all that in future editions of the Telegram. The Telegram comes out on. We got one on the newsstand today.
Yep.
And another one will be on Saturdays. And you can always check out thetelegrammnews.com. And if you guys would like to subscribe, feel free to do that
Please
too.
do so.
Yeah.
Not hard to do.
Yeah, no, we...
and not expensive either.
Right, no, it's very affordable. There's even options where you can get it, if you do like the online, you can have it to where it just comes out each month.
Yep.
And it's just like a Netflix subscription
Yep.
or whatever you would do online. So that's
You
pretty
got
cool.
it.
So
All right. Well, Jeremiah, thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning.
Yep.
As Pete's out and about at
out
the
and about.
courthouse.
Yeah,
So
no, he's up there. So hopefully he'll have some news on
yeah,
that he
we'll
can
keep you
share
updated
tomorrow.
on what's going on with
And
that.
I'm sure
trial as well.
we'll have if a verdict comes in. I'm sure we'll post that at thetelegrammnews.com and on our social media platforms as well.
All right.
I'm sure people are interested in that. I will say real quick before we get off, we posted the stuff about the Starbucks on social media yesterday because Pete wrote a story and that has just blown up.
Everybody got an opinion.
Everybody's talking about the Starbucks. So
I mean,
if you
you
haven't
would
read,
think that,
if you haven't read that article, go read it.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Pretty wild. So.
Yeah. Okay. Only Starbucks. All right. Well, have a great day, everyone, and stay warm. Little chance of snow this afternoon, overnight tonight, but not like a ton, so don't panic or anything. And then we start thawing out, which is A-okay with me.
Yeah,
So
need it. The driveway's a sheet of ice.
you got it. All right. Well, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.